Welcome to day 2. This is Kathi Reed Myers, and I am back at it on the second day of 333 days going on YouTube. Full camera, full voice, full listening, full intuitive awareness. This is very new to me, you guys, and I'm glad that you're all here with me. Um, this has been a really interesting yesterday after day 1. I knew, and I think I even mentioned that just by following your intuitive prompting, just by doing what's unusual, just by maybe facing something that you really haven't wanted to do, but you know it's the right thing to do by faith, like taking that leap, I knew things would open up, opportunities would happen, perspective would shift, things that we had no idea when we first made the commitment, right? And I knew that was going to happen, and it did. So I want to address what was mentioned yesterday because it was really it was a small thing and with big payoffs, right? So when I said I paid my tribute, I gave honor to 2025, and moving into 2026, whole new clean slate, right? All that's true, except this was a little tweak, just a subtle little, if I hadn't been paying attention, I might have missed it. But instead of shelving all of 2025, giving tribute, and then we're done, I felt like, no, all the lessons I learned, even though 2025, was a lot of things happened that were life changing for me and very transformative. I gave no room for how I honored those lessons and implemented them. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I've said, you know, lessons are only there, it only produces wisdom if you apply the lessons to your life, right? It's not just passing a test on paper and then there I did it and then eha. So I realized I can stack. I can stack my lessons. I can stack, even though hard accompanied many lessons I learned, so did phenomenal blessings. Blessings happened because of the lessons I learned and implemented them, right? So last night I went through and I made a list of all the lessons. And so instead of how my friends did 25 milestone blessings that they gave uh, credit for and celebrated, I celebrated by myself, just me, and I made my list of at least, I think it was even more than 25 hard lessons I learned that I implemented the wisdom, and it became wisdom for me. So now that's like a foundation that I'm building off of. It's like a launch pad for 2026, right? So I'm implementing, and sure as shoot, today when I came to get online here with all y'all, I was faced front and center with it might not have been a huge thing, but it was to me because these are little layers of things that normally I like to have handled. I like to have details already covered, ready, prepared, in place. Probably, truth be told, probably like micromanaging, probably like controlling the environment, controlling, right? And I was later coming on because I got to choose. So am I going to give it? And this is a familiar, I'm going to just insert here. This year has been full of almost, almost people keeping their word, doing what they say, almost completely, but sometimes they would just keep part of it. But I didn't know which part they were going to keep. And so I was always like on edge. Like, where am I going to need to pick up the ball? Where am I going to need to, how am I going to need to finish it off? Because it wasn't completely done the way it was supposed to be, right? So this morning I was faced with that thing. Am I going to let this rattle me? Am I going to let that energy of, because it's a chaotic feeling inside. It throws me. It throws a hook, throws a curve. Like, I'm usually peaceful. I'm usually, really calm. And it threw a monkey wrench. And I thought, okay, so how am I going to implement what I've learned? Because I can control my responses. I can control. It might take me a minute, and it did. I was able to recenter, breathe through it, remind myself of what's true. And this is where, when I make comments like, I don't know where I get bulletproof faith. I don't know how I developed that knowing that is so sure, that full embodiment that I am divinely protected and guided. How did I get that? It just feels like I've always had faith, and I've said this in other videos in the past. And this morning, I got to celebrate with you guys. This is how. It's by choices that I'm making every day. Sometimes not just once a day, like it's many times a day. Okay, am I going to give in to this, how it feels? This is an emotion. This is just a passing, fleeting pressure, maybe a fleeting moment of, oh no, wait, am I going to give in to that? Or am I going to feel it and know this is going to happen? It's going to work out according to plan. Everything is in full control, not my control. I may not know how it's going to end up, but it's okay. It's okay because I'm showing up. I know who I am. I know who I am. And this is another clarification from yesterday. I'm not the only chosen one. I am the one that broke generational patterns, right? I talked about it yesterday. I'm the one. I signed up. You can be the one. And again, I'm not trying to teach, but I just want to put these little reminders because you're the one if you choose to be the one in whatever situation seems way beyond, or it seems ridiculous, or it seems fill in the blank, right? If you feel if it's an internal prompting for you, you can feel it and you can be the one. So anyway, I am the one. And I do know who I am. And I do know whose power is running through me in every moment, whether I know it or not, whether I'm aware, whether I feel it, doesn't matter. One more thing. This was another thing that came through last night after yesterday's call. I felt inspired because I also referred to, I don't set goals, right? And like I said, I used to, like every year, New Year's Eve was the big, and different husbands, different times, different, we would jointly set our goals. And, I had 5-year plans, 10-year plans. I did it all. This year I didn't because I hadn't gotten this perspective yet. And I thought, okay, so what if I don't do vision boards either? And I thought, what if I put myself at the end of 2026? Okay, I'm going to fast forward my timeline just in my head. What things, what events, what little insignificant, maybe little things happened in 2026? And I made a list as though it already, this wasn't like a manifestation thing, because I've done that too. It was beyond that. It was actually feeling like events have happened. Feeling it like I'm looking back on the events, on the choices I made, as though I did, because I did. In my heart. And they were inspired. Anyway, I made a list, and the list is growing, so that in this here now moment in 2026, as these events happen, because I believe they happen first on the spirit dimension before they ever show up here for us to see in this here now. So I thought, this can be like a checklist. I can just go through, and as they really do show up on this timeline, I can check them off. And that's how I'll build even greater confidence in myself. Right? I don't know about you guys, but I had kind of an issue, truth be told, committing to 333 days of anything in my world, relationships, people, events, where I live, what I drive, who I'm with, who my friends are, who they're not. Things were so fluid, and they still are. They're changing so fast, and that's beyond my control. Did I freeze? There. I can't control the internet either. And so I had like big doubt. Like, oh man, when have I ever done anything for that long? And it's not because I flake out. It's not because I lose interest. It's not because I forget. It changes faster than I can, right? And that's why I committed to coming on here live every day and recording with all y'all. Because you're going to see the changes as they happen in motion in this now moment. Now. Doesn't matter. I have no agenda. That's the other piece. It's so interesting because we're all doing this together. We're all growing and learning together in different ways. And many of the people that I've seen on YouTube, they do countdowns, 31 days online, 2 months online, whatever. And they do daily coming on camera, right? Talking. And many have said, I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know and eventually they all, and this is no judgment. This is no slam by any means. Their hearts are pure. That it's not about that, but it all ends up to be some kind of a plug because they're doing programs. They've got different packages that they're promoting. They've got groups that they're starting. Life is going on, and I don't fault them by any means. God was showing me through the whole thing. That is not you. You are not to do that. So will my life stop for 333 days while I'm on here? No. Do I have clients I'm working with? Do I have groups? Yes. Am I going to do a backdoor, just kind of slip it in there, just kind of mention them, just kind of, well, if you want to join my blah, 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 blah. No. No. I will not promote. I will not backdoor anything. No manipulation of any kind of, none of that. This is for me. Let me remind you, this is for me. I'm developing my commitment muscle that no matter what, and I can't promise what I'm going to look like on camera. I don't care. I am showing up like I said I would do, in the spirit that I'm meant to show up, creating my life daily. And I'm celebrating with you guys these things that I'm learning and things that are opening up my awareness, my lists, my new perspective of stuff. This is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of stuff. And so when I'm thrown a curveball and all of a sudden, yike, am I going to hold on to this chaos? I'm doing the choices right with y'all. Not because I'm trying to impress, not because this is some kind of no. And it's not bringing glory to me. That's not the point. The point is, I don't have a clue, but that doesn't mean there's no structure. Just because I'm winging it, the construct of my life is being built as I fall, as I do my free fall. It is not without plan. It is not without structure and how to. I just don't know it yet. But I'll know it. And when I know it, I come on here and I tell you. Didn't I? Did you see how that? So I'm kind of learning how this is going to piece together too. So stay tuned. Some days are going to be longer than others. Some are going to be shorter. Some days I may not wear makeup. Who knows? Doesn't matter. This isn't for you. It's for me. And I'm doing what I said I would do. And this is going to be a great day. I hope you guys have a good one. And I will see those of you that feel inspired in the next recording. Okay. Love you all. Bye.